It's the Paradise Podcast.
I am your host, Ryan Michelle Bethay, with my husband, Sterling.
What's up?
Join us here on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus, where we'll discuss each episode with the cast and crew of Paradise. I'll be getting all the secrets from Dan Fogelman, James Marsden, Shailene Woodley, Julianne Nicholson, and Sterling Kelby Brown. Woo! Paradise, the official podcast, is now streaming.
And stream Paradise on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus.
Hey, man, this is the end of a decade, isn't it, for us?
Amazingly, it is.
And it's been, this year has felt like a decade, but I got to tell you, man, there are some things that I'm pretty geeky about. And you know what? This is our podcast, and I'm allowed to just say whatever I damn well please. And so I'm just going to tell you what I liked this year.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I like it, and we're just going to do this. We're skipping the interview this week, or we skipped one last week too. You know, it's the holidays. It's the holiday season.
Yeah,
but we're just going to talk about. Yeah, we're talking about what we geeked out on in 2019. The best, the worst, the average, and everything in between. Maybe.
Yeah, for sure. And ladies and gentlemen, so I'm Andros Sturgeon,
and I am Justin Womack,
and we are the Marketing Geeks.
Unlike other AI, Slackbot lives in Slack. It understands you, your team, and your work, so you can ask it for help with anything.
Can I ask it to summarize client feedback?
Yes.
Can I ask it to find time for a meeting?
Absolutely.
Can I ask it to turn our meeting notes into a launch plan?
Sure.
Can I ask it to call me the boss?
Actually, you can.
The balls.
See how Slackbot can turn you into
The balls.
at slack.com/meet-slackbot.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, man. What a year. What a year. I got to say, this was a crazy year. And if you really want to know how crazy it is, I would listen to the episode. What episode was that? It was like in March or April when I
that was the one, March or April.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, if you really want to listen to my story, I don't have to repeat it here, but that was the most raw I think I've ever been on this podcast. I recommend it because it's been a ride and a half, man. But
yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about, but now I do. So it was in May 20th. And it is episode number 51.
Okay, so if you want to listen to what happened to me this year, the dust is now settling. I feel like I'm finally recovering from all of it. But I got to say, the Marketing Geeks podcast has kept me going strong and has given me a lot of my core energy. So thank you for that.
Well, I think about this in terms of the decade too, right? Because I think back to 20. So we started 2010.
Yeah.
In 2010, I had not met my wife yet. I was working for Fidelity Insurance.
Yeah.
And then, a lot changed from there. I started working for AAA, and then I had a major car accident, which I haven't even talked about on the show. But, the typical car accident where your car rolls upside down underwater, and you spend a couple months in the ICU. Those kind of accidents happen every day.
To so many people.
Yeah, to so many people. Well, that happened to me, and that was in 2014, so that was midway through. And then the second half of the decade was my whole entrepreneurial journey where I got out of that and then decided to start my own business instead of working for others and that whole journey. So it's been split into 2 halves for me. Yeah. I have that first half of the decade and the second half of the decade. The second half was much more productive though.
Yeah, I should say, because you didn't spend any time in a chemically induced coma. So
yeah.
Although I had been to Burning Man for most of the decade, so I probably was in a chemically induced coma of a different sort during,
at least for a couple weeks.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, we just thought it would be cool to just go over, since we're geeks, what made us geeky this year, and there's been quite a bit. I mean, TV shows, movies, some books, podcasts. just personal like apps, like games. And what were the biggest letdowns? And at the end of this show, we'll tell you what I feel my biggest letdowns were. But let's start off with TV, man, because actually I feel that movies are really secondary. In fact, it's so funny that we live in a day and age where we have trouble sitting through a 3-hour movie like The Irishman, but I will binge watch the shit out of stuff, man. I will watch all of Watchmen in one sitting in 8 hours.
Well, I may have told you the story, but I did not tell it on the air, I don't think. On Thanksgiving, I was at my brother's place for Thanksgiving, and I was forced to sleep on the couch because they have a limited number of beds and my son and all this going on. And I was going to watch The Irishman, but I'm like, oh, wait, it's 3 hours and 30 minutes. I'm not going to do that. So I started watching the Paul Rudd Show on Netflix. I don't even remember what it's called. The Paul Rudd Show. And lo and behold, on episode 1, I do the entire season, which was like 4.5 hours.
Crazy.
No problem.
Crazy.
But I can't sit through The Irishman. That's 3 hours and 20 minutes.
I know. And it's Scorsese. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure it's, you know what it is also, and I hate to admit this, but I think that my brain has been so rewired with short attention span, just, you know, my phone and my tablet and everything going on, that I get so easily distracted. Like an hour is good. I can get up, I can get like, you know, drink something, make some food, come back, watch another hour. But if I got to sit and concentrate for like 3 hours, it's like, that's stretching it for me, man.
There's something that happens when the episode ends. It's like you have like a break point, even though I don't usually take a break, but it's like, oh, okay, I just finished this one. Maybe I'll just start the next one. It's just like, it's like micro goals, you know, you're setting micro goals for yourself. But like when you tackle this big chunk, this 3 hour and 20 minute Irishman movie, that's like a macro goal. And this is a metaphor for life right here.
It's true. It's true. We're talking about doing a 5K versus a marathon, right? So, and I want to talk about the Irishman, but let me give you my top favorite TV things, okay? In order, okay? Number 1, hands down, Watchmen. That not only blew me away, I was so, in fact, I haven't seen the last 2 episodes, but I'm so impressed by that show that it is so next level. It is so next level. If you haven't seen Watchmen, I do recommend that you read the graphic novel first. If you don't have time to read the graphic novel, at least see the movie, the Zack Snyder movie. But the Watchmen.
It's very rare that you're going to plug Zack Snyder too.
Yeah. Well, the movie. Yeah, the movie was okay. The movie was okay, but the graphic novel's pretty good. The show is next level. Handmaid's Tale. Man, that show is unbelievably great. Elizabeth Moss. It's just, I mean, yes, it's a paranoid liberal fantasy. However, the show is done extremely well. I really liked Umbrella Academy. I really, really liked it. I found it to be pretty solid as a show. Stranger Things season 4, also a lot of fun. I wouldn't say it was like the best thing ever, but it was fun and it was definitely worth my time. And I rewatched The Leftovers, which I thought is one of the best shows ever created. And
you tried to rescue it when we interviewed the Netflix guy, but you failed.
No, that was the OA.
Oh, that was the OA. That's right. I'm mixing them up. Okay.
The OA also one of my favorite things of the year, and I would recommend that. I would put that on the list, but I'm so disappointed. Like that was, in fact, that's actually probably tops my biggest letdowns of the year, which we'll get to later. But the OA, and then finally, I kind of liked You on Netflix, which is definitely a strange show because you don't like, everybody's pretty unlikable in that show. It's like there's no one to like, and so
I that's one of the shows I watched. I watched You. I watched Umbrella Academy. I enjoyed You quite a bit.
Yeah,
but I like those kind of things. I like it's like the stalkery, possible serial killer vibe guy.
Sure.
You know.
And season 2 is out now, but I haven't been like super thrilled to like, I mean, I will see it, but it's not like at the top of my list.
Yeah. Well, there's not much television wise on the top of my list at this moment. And I already saw Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, which we could talk about in a few minutes here. But The other ones I want to add here, because my favorite show of the entire year, and I mentioned this earlier in the year, is the show Dark on Netflix, which is all time travel. It's a German show. It's dubbed to English or subtitled to English. I just love that show. It's so brilliantly written. Like the writers actually, this is what you do. This is how you do this is how you do like a trilogy, because it's a 3-season arc. You actually map it out in advance. It's amazing.
No kidding.
Like most people don't think of this.
Really?
Kathleen Kennedy, Star Wars, like of course they thought, movie. But if you actually map out the arc of the story in advance, it ends up not being a complete cluster.
No way. Like you actually take some time to like figure out a story.
Which is what, okay, so let me just do like 2 cents on the Rise of Skywalker. Like my biggest pet peeve with that movie is that they did nothing to map out the arc ahead of time. It's blatantly obvious. You have J.J. Abrams doing episode 7, The Force Awakens. You have Rian Johnson doing episode 8, The Last Jedi. And you have J.J. Abrams returning for episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. The Last Jedi completely departs from everything J.J. set up in The Force Awakens and like ignores it or discounts it or completely eliminates it. And then J.J. decided that he's going to now undo everything Rian Johnson did in The Last Jedi. And he's going to basically create his version of episode 8 and 9 into a 2-hour movie, which just, it is what it is. It's not the worst thing. It's okay. But it's just, you could tell like, this could have been like the elements are here for something good. It's just, you rushed it and it fails.
Yeah. And the thing is that when the trouble with that whole trilogy and I think we're jumping ahead right now but Star Wars definitely deserves its own sort of thing. I have not seen the movie yet, which is wild because when I was 7, Star Wars came out in 1977. It changed my life. I mean, it literally changed my life. I saw this movie and I was like, oh my God, everything's different. Like I had Star Wars everything. I got my mother to buy the Star Wars action figures. Do you know the story of the Star Wars action figures? This is kind of, so for those of you who don't know, there's a whole thing about this.
I grew up with a lot of them because my brother had them.
So check this out.
My older brother.
This is kind of crazy. This is such a tangent. But when George Lucas was making Star Wars, the studio saw the cut without the effects, and they were, if you take away the effects of Star Wars, take away the music, you just have like shitty dialogue and just, it's not a great film at the end of the day.
So they were Blockbuster, the studios were Blockbuster, and George Lucas was Netflix in this situation.
Yeah, sort of. And so they basically said, look, we don't know if we want to even fund the rest of this movie where they blow up the Death Star. That's a big special effects sequence. They rescued the princess. Can't we just leave it there? And he was like, no, that we have to see this thing through to the end. And so what he did was he said, look, here's the deal. I will forego my director fee, which was like $20,000, if you give me the sequel rights and the merchandising rights. And the studio heads kind of looked at each other and they're like, what, Star Wars action figures? Ha ha ha. So the movie came out and it was playing like a limited release at Mann's Chinese Theater. And man, it just went bananas. There were lines around the block. It was like crazy. And so for weeks. And so they realized, oh, well, maybe the Star Wars merchandising thing has something to it. But they didn't make this action figures because they didn't think that they would sell. And Christmas was coming up. So what they did was they sold basically a like something that you could redeem for the action figures later, and they sent it to you in the mail. You bought it, they sent it to you in the mail, and it was a little package, and you opened it up, and it basically there was your Star Wars action figures later, but the only thing they could sell was just like, this is good, redeemable for a Star Wars action figure. And I got that, and it had like, it was Luke, Obi-Wan, Han Solo, and Princess Leia, I think. And apparently that package unopened is worth an ungodly amount of money. And but that's
good business right there. Good marketing too, though. We got to talk about that. I mean, like to pre-sell when you don't even have the product available and to have the foresight to get that done. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, they had to sell something, and they went into overtime to make it happen. But I had that. I had Star Wars everything. And so when Empire Strikes Back came out, I was like, oh, this is it was unbelievably cool for me, like the best thing ever. If I knew that there was going to be a whole string of Star Wars movies, I would have flipped my lid. And if I had gone back in time and told my 10-year-old self, you know what, Star Wars is going to be a big disappointment in life, I would have just looked at this old man and been like, who the fuck are you, man? Like,
what happened to you?
What happened to you? And I would just look at him with a 1,000-yard stare, my young self, and I would just say, Star Wars happened to me, my friend, and it will happen to you too.
You're going to waste a good chunk of your life on Star Wars if you don't get out now.
Yeah, I would just tell them, look, just learn code and make an app. Forget Star Wars. It's going to let you down. But overall, yeah. So I haven't seen it, and I have no desire to see it. And it's really sad because you would think that they finally got a hold of this property. Disney had been doing so well with Marvel. They should have, but that's what they were thinking. They were thinking Star Wars universe instead of like stories that lead to something.
Yeah.
And so we had, unfortunately, Solo, Rogue One, which was admirable.
Okay. Yeah.
An admirable achievement. It was as good as The Mandalorian, which is whatever. I mean, I saw like half of it. Baby Yoda. Oh, it's cute. Whatever. But
what a merchandise opportunity there, huh? Baby Yoda.
Oh, man.
We're gonna sell the shit out of Baby Yoda.
Yeah, it's just yet another like how can we print money? And yes, Star Wars fans are very hard to please, but you know what? It's like at least like take some time with this. So I maybe somewhere in the future they'll like say, you know what? We're going to take those 3 Star Wars movies and we're going to pretend they never happened. But I said this before and I stand by it. The fatal flaw in the new trilogy is that if you have Luke, Leia, Han, the whole old crew, and you don't put them on screen together at least once, and you kill Han Solo so it could never happen, I think personally Carrie Fisher just checked out because she's like, you know what, fuck this, I'm out. Star Wars, you disappointed me.
If you go on YouTube and just look up Mark Hamill, he did a whole interview series like just trying to tell fans ahead of time, like, this is going to disappoint you. This is going to be bad. And then even said, like, he was reading the script and he was talking about like a scene in The Force Awakens where I think like they show a lightsaber in the snow that comes out like with the Force power. And he's like, oh, that's going to be my entrance. That's going to be my entrance. Luke Skywalker's going to be there. And then we're going to go see Han die. So there's like actually closure to all this. And then they're like, Rey catches the lightsaber and, she's never done anything and just has that power. So, yeah.
Man, anyway, that's a little preview of
and maybe we'll do a bonus episode where we just do a rant on Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. But let's move on back to TV here because the only ones I don't think we've covered are Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty season 4 or 5. Yeah,
well, Rick and Morty is in its own category, and it's look, you either love Rick and Morty. Unfortunately, my wife doesn't. Iris, lovely woman.
Yeah, one of my friends hates it, but I think if you go back and start with season 1, like they've really evolved the show a lot. So it's almost like don't start with season 1, start with season 2.
Yeah, no, I think it's decent. I mean, just well written. It's funny. I mean, but it's not for everybody. Now, a show that I just started watching because my son started watching it actually, who's 5 and he's cute as hell. Star versus the Forces of Evil. That's on Disney Plus. It's been running now for about 5 seasons. I looked into it and it turns out it's got like everybody loves the show. Highly recommend it. Star versus the Forces of Evil. And it's very, very lovely. I just barely started watching it, but I'm going to go back and I'm actually going to, there's a few kid shows that I really like. Steven Universe, Adventure Time, are top-notch shows.
Word Party, man. Word Party.
Uh-huh.
No, you don't like it? What's on Netflix? Word Party. Yeah. Jim Henson's company did it. So it's pretty decent. I like Word Party. My kid dances to the theme music. It's fun. I like it.
Well, that's all you can hope for.
Yeah, last show that I will just mention, I've mentioned this one on prior episodes, is Succession on HBO, which is like a satire on business. It's like loosely based on, I would say, like the Murdoch Fox News family. And it's loosely based because the story doesn't really follow anything like that, but that's like the type of family that you're following in this show. And the dad almost dies in the first episode, and all the children are fighting over the rights to take over the empire, and it makes for good television. So it's a fun show. Season 2 was better than season 1, I think. So yeah.
Oh, well, I'll definitely check it out. I mean, there's actually the Murdoch family is there is some real drama there between the two brothers and the future of.
This is loosely. I just say that because they just own a conservative news outlet in the show, but this is not really. It's not really too much tied there beyond that.
Well, I will. I know nothing about the show, so based on your recommendation, I will definitely see it.
It's on HBO. So let's cover a few let's do like a little bit of business here, and then we'll get back into like movies and some things. But for like business books, I want to mention a couple. I actually just finished Atomic Habits, which is one of the best books I've read in not just like this year, but in quite a while, maybe of all time even. It's really good, and it basically breaks down like goal setting and how to build effective habits, and like it even talks about like the idea of creating like micro habits, and it almost goes back to that Netflix thing where you can't watch The Irishman, but you can watch an episodic series because like you're giving yourself like these micro goals. Like your micro goals, I can commit to 30 minutes, and once 30 minutes is up, then I can reassess and then maybe continue to do it. But I can't commit to 3.5 hours. That's a different level of commitment. So it's kind of funny, but that actually somewhat plays into it.
I get it.
You should really check it out. It's heavy on the science. It's just like amazing book. Written by James Clear, who I don't know a ton about the author, but it goes heavily into like biopsychology and like neuroscience, which is stuff that I've studied in the past. Which
maybe we can get him on the show.
Yeah, we could try. It's worth a try.
Reach out to him. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Any other books that you would recommend?
The other book is Story Brand. So I think it's called How to Build a Story Brand by Donald Miller. That book it's like a Joseph Campbell 2.0 type of thing. So it's really just breaking down like how you can use story in marketing. So it's very heavy into the hero's journey. They actually breaks down all the elements of the hero's journey. He does it a little bit different than Joseph Campbell does, but pretty similar. Talks about movies like Star Wars and things like that. So if you followed like Joseph Campbell and the hero's journey and you know a little bit about that, you're really going to like this book. But he really ties it into how you can position your customer as the hero in the journey. So like your business is not the hero, your customer is the hero, and you're taking them on a journey. Really fascinating book. It's gained a lot of steam, and there's whole communities forming around that story brand framework. And there's they certify people in it now and everything. So it's a pretty big business. But I really enjoyed the book, and he's got a new book coming out in 2020. I forget the title, but I'll be checking that one out too.
Nice,
so
man.
Donald Miller again is the author.
I read a few interesting marketing books, but nothing really stuck out to me this year, I have to say. But I decided to because for those of you who know me, I tend to try to jam as much information into my cranium as possible. So I listen to audiobooks at like 2.5 times the speed, podcasts too. I also will sometimes simultaneously read news articles while I'm listening to a podcast,
which blows my mind. I can't do that.
But the thing is that I went through this. I had this kind of revelation after I took a whole bunch of mushrooms, and I realized like the it doesn't make me necessarily smarter. Whoops. It doesn't necessarily make me smarter. It just like puts information into my brain, like information overload, which isn't necessarily a good thing. There's enough information out there about how that is not good for you. So I stopped reading informational books and I started reading fiction again. And I decided to revisit some of the Stephen King's earlier work. So I read The Dark Tower and I read The Shining. And The Shining is absolutely great. If you just want a good, solid book, it's great. And I read it because Dr. Sleep was coming out, and I thought I'll go see Dr. Sleep afterwards. But then I didn't really have any desire to see Dr. Sleep.
Quick tangent on Stephen King, because this comes back to the idea of the rights of filmmakers that now. So anyone that wrote like an original script gets the rights to the movies back after 30 years. That's like a new law that's coming into force, and that's why James Cameron got Terminator back. That's why Gale Ann Hurd will also have co-ownership of Terminator in like next year or something like that. But it's a matter of when you apply. You have to apply for it also. So she didn't apply on time for the next movie. But so Pet Sematary was Stephen King is about to get the rights back to Pet Sematary, but he doesn't have them yet. So whoever had them like cranked out that Pet Sematary remake earlier this year, just because they wanted to milk it for money and basically kind of insult him on the way out, because they're like, oh, we're gonna ruin this, and now you can't reboot it for another 10 years or whatnot. I heard it's terrible. But I haven't seen it. I saw It Chapter 1 and 2, and I don't know. I didn't think much of it, but some people like it.
Yeah. Well, Stephen King movies don't translate well, unfortunately. But his books are very entertaining. And so I'm reading right now, my son, I'm reading to him The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And, he's digging it.
The best translated Stephen King movie, The Shawshank Redemption, because it's not a horror movie. So
of course. So my top movies of the year. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay,
I can't wait.
So in no particular order, and this is where our next show is actually going to be predictions for 2020, and one of my predictions
and beyond.
One of my predictions for 2019 was that Joker was going to be an utter flop, and I really liked it. I really liked Joker. I
did too.
I thought it was great. Yeah. I thought it was really good. Midsommar was like kind of a Wicker Man reboot.
I got to see that. I saw that guy, the director that did Midsommar, was it called Hereditary?
Yeah,
I think he did last year.
Yeah.
Which is it's a good movie. Hereditary was a good, moody horror movie. So I want to see Midsommar, but I did not see it yet.
Yeah, I recommend it. Of course, Endgame, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man: Far From Home came out. Those were all fun movies.
Endgame, of course, was the biggest. I quite liked it, and it actually I revisited Endgame, which I don't watch many movies twice anymore. But I revisited Endgame, and it held up nicely.
Yeah, no, those were all fun. I mean, it's what movies were made for. You go to the movies, you check your brain at the door, get your popcorn, and have fun with it. So, love those movies. Vice, I thought, was really good. I thought that the performance, I think that even came out.
I think that was last year, but you probably saw it this year.
But I probably saw it. Yeah, I did see it this year. And then, of course, what else?
But I really liked Vice. I love any all the movies that what's his name that does those movies? It's Adam something. He did Anchorman, but he also did The Big Short, and he actually produces Succession, the show I watch, and he did Vice. It's all the same guys, and Will Ferrell produces all three of them too, I believe.
Yeah, well, Vice was great just from the standpoint of the performance that Christian Bale turned in,
and Steve Carell as Rumsfeld was good.
Oh yeah,
good too.
Yeah, no, the whole thing was solid. And if you don't know the story of Dick Cheney, it lays it out pretty well. There's no it's definitely has its liberal bent, but there's no denying any of this stuff happened. So
it's still, I think anyone can enjoy that movie though.
Yeah, absolutely. So overall, but not a big year for movies. Overall, there was nothing that really just made me go, "Oh my God, that was the best thing ever."
Well, Joker was it did what? It was good. I was surprised too. I kind of thought it wouldn't be so great. I want to add just a couple here. So Knives Out I saw, which is Rian Johnson, the Last Jedi director. But when he's not doing Star Wars and he's not messing with previously established mythology, he's a great director and a great writer.
Yeah, I hope they do like 3 or 4 more of those.
I loved it. I love Knives Out, and I just love like detective style, or what are you gonna call movie movies.
It was fun. Great. It was like Clue the movie.
Under the Silver Lake, which of course I thoroughly enjoyed and praised on the show. Andros finally saw it. You finally saw it.
Yeah, and I think
it's weird. It's weird.
I think you're a bigger fan. I think you're a bigger fan than I am.
Yep, but I also spent like an hour or two in just looking on Reddit and reading all the ciphers and hidden codes in the movie, and I got really involved in that. So I might like the idea of the movie better than the movie, but I don't know.
Maybe definitely. So, what else? Any other? As an honorable mention, I did see The Report with Adam Driver. And I liked it. It was, again, movies like that are always hard for me to watch because, look, I'm a news junkie. I know the stories of all this stuff. Like I read all the reports that come out. I do the journalism. I actually read the the Mueller report. I read the whole thing cover to cover. I read the transcript. I saw the hearings, everything. I knew about the torture report before the movie came out, but it's a nice way to kind of lay it out and explains kind of what those movies are hard for me to watch though. If you don't know like what really happened in some of these black sites, it's a pretty good summary.
Yeah, I'll list off a few here, and I'm not gonna go deep on these, but the ones I loved, I liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I have a bit of it has like the ending threw me off a little bit, and I'm not going to talk about what that is, but it threw me off a little bit, and I get it. I get what he was doing, and I've seen his other movie. I've seen Inglourious Bastards, which is kind of similar in the style. But I did enjoy it. It was a good movie. It's kind of a character build, and I liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. John Wick 3 is a good turn your brain off action. I mean, it's the same as the other ones. Right. I think it's as good as the other ones. One is the best, but like it's as good as two.
I'm getting tired of senseless violence. I got to tell you.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I was watching 2, even like at some point, it's like the reason that John Wick 1 was so cool was because it was like a style of action you'd never seen before, kind of like. And then now it's just like the same thing over and over and over. And he's shooting people in the face and like it's pretty violent. So
it's violent and whatever.
Disappointments, Dark Phoenix. Well, I can't even call it a disappointment. If you follow movies like we do,
are we doing biggest letdowns? Let's say biggest letdowns because there's a few more things that I want to touch on.
My last honorable mention then is the 2 Fire Festival docs that led to our Fire Festival podcast episode, which you can listen to in the 2019 Marketing Geeks podcast album. It's an album now.
It is the greatest hits. And I'm sure there's other movies, but we'll.
We still remember.
Yeah, of course. And then finally, for podcasts, like I've really got into podcasts this year. Like I became a bit of a podcast junkie, so much so that I had to like back off a little bit.
Well, you get into all the different topics. I only listen to business podcasts, so you listen to like all kinds of different topics.
Oh man, I love real journalism, like where reporters go out and they interview people, and it's not just like hearsay. One of the best, absolute, I think everyone should really listen to this podcast. Is one called Conspiracyland. And Conspiracyland was produced by Yahoo News. And what it's about is, do you know the story of Seth Rich? Are you familiar with Seth Rich?
I'm familiar with stories of Seth Rich. I don't know which ones are true or not.
Okay, so for the uninitiated, Seth Rich was a person who worked or volunteered for Hillary Clinton's campaign.
And there's a lot of various conspiracy theories around his
And so the poor kid, he was like young and he was on his way home from one night and he got shot and killed. And there was like all sorts of speculation because like his watch wasn't taken and his jewelry wasn't taken.
Hillary killed him.
And of course, Hillary killed him. And But if you want to find out where the Seth Rich story of Hillary killing him came from, and that he apparently had information that he was leaking to WikiLeaks and all of that.
They said that he was like the source of
right. And then Hillary had him killed and blah, 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 blah. If you really want to hear like where the rumors started from, like what happened, listen to Conspiracyland, because they break it down into like, once you hear it, you're like, oh, most likely the poor kid was just shot because there was a rash of crimes that were happening at the time, and his watch wasn't stolen, probably because like someone, when they didn't mean to kill him, and when he was dead they just ran, but also just like where the information started coming from and how it kind of reverberated onto, and eventually getting to Fox News, eventually getting to the president of the United States, tweeting
Twitter account.
And when you, and it's like they really follow the trail. And when you listen to the whole thing, you're like, oh my God, this is bananas. This is bananas. So I highly recommend Conspiracyland. And then if you just want a summary of just like what's going on, The Daily is great. Today Explained is great. The Intelligence is great. Well, those really are amazing podcasts.
I'll give a shout out to two of my my clients who I do a lot of the management for the shows also. But Matt Brauning, the Driven Entrepreneur, it's a really good show.
Love that guy.
Yeah, he does a combo of teaching episodes. His background is neuro-linguistic programming. That's what he teaches with his business, and he has very very strong guests. Some of the ones we've had on our show have been on his show. And then the other one I manage right now his name is Charles Gaudet, and his podcast is called Beyond Seven Figures, and he basically interviews only business owners that have run, $1 million plus businesses, often multi-million. And those are some serious conversations. Like that show has not picked up a huge following yet, but it's a newer show. And it's like he pulls people out of like the Young Entrepreneurs Council, where the qualification is you have to be $1 million business or beyond. Then they verify it. They verify your financials to get in there. And he pulls people out of the Inc. 5000, like the fastest growing companies, things like that. So the quality of guests on that show are top notch. And he's got some great questions. He was heavily involved in like the Tony Robbins programs, like from his background. So it's a good show, but I also at this time I'm editing the shows, and the only ones I give a shout out to are I watch more on YouTube than podcasts, but they are podcasts. Are Joe Rogan and actually this guy Patrick Bet-David, who does Valuetainment on YouTube, because I actually almost worked for his company, which is called PHP in Ventura, and I met him for like 5 minutes. So I didn't really meet him, but I got to meet him sort of. I met him. He didn't meet me. How's that? And he now, like within a year, that guy's blown up within 2 years, he's blown up from like barely any views to now I think he's like 1.5 million subscribers.
Oh, wow.
And he runs a cent to $1 million business, so it's a big business, but he's had people like Mark Cuban, and he's had like big names, people that we haven't had yet, like, Cuban and billionaires like that.
I want Cuban.
We need Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, if you're listening, which we know you are.
He's one of our 7 listeners. This falls into the next category, which is just like software and apps, but Autumn, which Autumn is a app that it's basically they read articles from really good journalistic magazines like the New Yorker and Rolling Stone, Mother Jones, Outdoor Magazine. And I've been listening to a lot of high quality articles with Autumn. The app itself sucks banana bread. And I have to tell you, like, if you're listening, Autumn people, you gotta do something about that app. There's so many better interfaces out there. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but the app itself, it costs like $7 a month. Totally worth it. So if you really want to listen to like some good like journalism, do it.
Yeah, I don't really have any apps to recommend. So what else you got?
Well, I got Musician. I bought a guitar, and I have what is it? A Fender Squier Telecaster, and I've been learning how to play guitar, and or as my wife says, chinging upstairs. Because you play along to like backing tracks. It's gamified. It's pretty great. But when she hears me playing it, she's not hearing the music in my headphones. So to her, it just sounds like ching 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 ching. And so I ching, but I'm rocking out, man. And I also have been playing with Rocksmith, which is an older game. But I've been shredding on the guitar.
Is that the one that like you actually use a real guitar for, that one?
Yeah, it's like Guitar Hero with a real guitar. And so I part of it is my philosophy a few years ago when I played Diablo 2. This was in the 90s. I had a 2-week vacation, and I was like, I got a few days. I'll buy Diablo 2. It's on sale. I'll play it And then 2 weeks went by and I finished the game, but I was like, what did I just do? Like nothing. I did nothing. I was planning on going on a vacation. Nothing. So at that point, I was like, video games are dangerous, and you need to keep them away from me, because in the time that it takes me to finish a video game, I could learn a real skill in life. But the thing I like about Rocksmith and Musician is that it combines the two. So it's gamification, but I'm playing a guitar and I'm learning guitar at the same time. So and also on that same vein, I've been learning a lot of Dutch. I just got my 5-year residency card, which is great. So now I qualify in 2 years. I can get my Dutch passport, which is awesome. I become a Dutch citizen. So I've been learning, there's 2 apps that I use, which is Babbel, which has been pretty good for me, and another one called Drops. So I've been learning languages and learning guitar. So
pretty good stuff there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think like software app wise, like AppSumo comes to mind.
Oh, well.
Which is like almost becoming, well, not almost. I think it's becoming more of a vice than an asset at some points in my life.
You know what we need to do in 2020 is we need to review every AppSumo purchase that we make. You know?
Yeah, I like that. Because so if you don't know what AppSumo is, AppSumo.com is a lifetime license. They have software companies, SaaS companies that put out their products early on to help fund the companies, and they provide lifetime licenses for a limited period of time. So you can go there. That's a marketplace of different softwares. They're all business related that you can get a lifetime license to. Some of them are big hits. Some of them are total misses. But
sometimes you buy stuff and you're like, you get it like $49 for a lifetime. And then there are tools that I use like daily. Some of them. I mean, like Espionage, we both got. Oh my God, that's so good.
That's a great tool. And that's actually taken off. I mean, that's actually a lot of people pay monthly for that now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like one of the ones that really took off.
Yeah. So occasionally you get one. Sometimes you pay for something and you're like, I'll use this eventually, and then you never do. But yeah. So if you don't want to spend a lot of money, then don't go to AppSumo. But
so
man,
I was thinking before we wrap this up, maybe we mention our favorite like interviews and some of the memorable moments of Marketing Geeks, or should we save that for the next episode?
Let's save that for the next episode. We gotta, because I think that's all that deserves its own.
This is more like the movie, book, media, all that. Our favorite stuff. Okay, I think that should be in the front of the episode.
Also known as the episode that if you've listened this far, man, you are a Marketing Geeks
are a fan. You are a fan if you've made it.
We want to hear from you. We want to hear like what your favorite stuff was. In fact, one of the things that I'm going to do, I do this every year, is I list my favorite, like the music that I found during the year. So we'll put a link to my Spotify playlist of like my personal like discoveries for 2020 for music, because that's a whole other thing. I'm such a music nerd. And then finally, we've got the biggest letdowns.
Yep. You want to start?
Yeah. I've got some gripes that I'm going to try not to.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
First of all, top of the list, the OA. Like, whoever made the decision to cancel the OA, shame on you. Shame on you. The OA, I remember like when I saw season 1 of the OA, I'm like, this is a decent show. When season 2 was over, I was like, this show is so next level. It has blown my stinking mind. And then they were like, no, canceled. And I was like, no, because there was like so many cliffhangers, not even an end movie, nothing. It was just like, that's it. So big.
At least give them like a half season to close it out, right?
Something, or just say, okay, we'll do one more season because there's a big fan base. But it's like one of those things that it like kind of turned me off of Netflix a little bit. Like now it's like, F you and your whole service, because like if I like a show, you may just cancel it. So I'm not going to invest my time in your dumb shows anymore.
Too risky.
So Netflix, you are my one of my biggest letdowns. Boom. Dark Fate. Terminator Dark Fate.
Did you see it?
No.
You still haven't seen it?
No, I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to I got better things to do with my time. But it's like, come on, guys. Like you have all the resources in the world.
You had James Cameron had 20 years to brainstorm this, 30 years, whatever it was. Like, come on. That's all you could come up with. That's it.
But you know what? Here's the thing. This is the thing that bothers me a little bit. He also had been working on Attila Battle Angel for a very long time.
Yeah.
I got about halfway through it. It was whatever. It was okay. But like, because Dark Fate was obviously, and if you want to listen to our little mini review of Dark Fate where we spoil it, that was an episode a few episodes ago,
November-ish.
Yeah, but I don't have a lot of hope for the Avatar movies now. I really don't.
I don't know though, because James Cameron is such a perfectionist. The one thing I do like about that is that he's basically done filming like Avatar 2 and 3 already, and it's still 2 years out from release. So he's such a perfectionist that like I don't know. There's a chance that it can still be good, but my hope has dropped significantly. I will say that.
Yeah.
But not even that Avatar's that great. I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
I like Avatar, and I thought it was fun, and
it's fun. It's competent. Yeah. But it hasn't aged well. Yeah. And we'll see. Well, but
again, James Cameron just has street cred because this is the guy that did the Terminator 1 and 2. He did Aliens. He did True Lies. He did,
of course, his resume is impeccable.
He did The Abyss. He did Titanic. He did Avatar.
Yeah. So I mean, no, he's solid. Even his worst movies are still good. So we will see. Disney Plus overall, kind of a letdown. What I was really hoping for was that since they have 20th Century Fox, I was hoping that there would be like a whole library of like older adult oriented films. Like
I was expecting that actually, but apparently I think they're moving all that into Hulu because they now have a controlling stake of Hulu.
Yeah, but I mean, I get it. You want to, it's like double but I don't know. I mean, and on top of that, because first of all, the selection is okay. It's not great. It's okay.
It's good for kids.
It's great for kids. I have a kid, so it's perfect. But I was also hoping, like, when The Mandalorian was announced, and I was like, Jon Favreau, he's pretty competent. I was hoping that this was going to be like next level, and unfortunately, it's okay. And it was kind of like a little slap in the face with on top of the whole Star Wars thing. Like I was thinking like, well, maybe Star Wars can transition to like a good TV property, right? Like Game of Thrones levels without like season 8, which is also, I actually haven't seen the last episode of season 8 of Game of Thrones because everyone says it was so disappointing.
Probably a letdown there.
Yeah. So I've had enough letdowns in this year. So Disney Plus, you're a letdown, and Mandalorian, I'm sorry, Baby Yoda did not save that show.
It may have made some money at the toy store, but it didn't.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've only seen the first episode of Mandalorian, and I don't know. It didn't do anything for me, and I think Star Wars as a whole has been like dropping in my priorities over time.
Yeah, of course. So. And that's why, there's a new Star Wars movie out. I have not seen it. But also the trouble with The Mandalorian is when you have an entire show where you don't see the main character's face, it makes it kind of rough. It makes it.
Well, you can't communicate emotions as effectively.
Right.
Now, the other thing I don't like about Disney Plus, though, is they made the decision, which I think it's fine, to drip out episodes instead of binge, of releasing them all simultaneously, like Netflix does. So it's like 1 week at a time, episode. And I'm not that against that. HBO still does that. A lot of channels do that. But they only had one original show, or like one big original show. I guess they had a couple, but they one big original show at launch. And they announced like 10 Marvel shows, and none of them were ready.
Yeah,
I thought for sure there was gonna be at least like 1 or 2 Marvel shows, but like all of them come out like end of 2020. Like there's really like no like other like exciting content coming out till like I think it's late to end 2020. So
exactly. So Disney Plus, kind of a letdown. Okay,
we'll have to revisit in a year.
Yeah, and of course we already talked about Star Wars in general. Dark Phoenix. Oh, come on, man. First of all, here's the problem with Dark Phoenix. You get the guy.
Did you see this one?
No,
I did.
No,
see it.
I know you jumped on that grenade for both of us. I'm a big Marvel fan. I'm a big Marvel fan. But seriously, the guy who wrote the worst of the X-Men movies, the absolute worst of the X-Men movies. What do? They give him writing and directing ability for the last blowout big X-Men.
The other director is in jail or something, right? So I don't know what happened to Bryan Singer. Maybe he's in jail, maybe not. But he had some major controversies.
Oh yeah,
him and Kevin Spacey.
Well, he was one of those cats that was. I mean, look, I worked in the entertainment industry in the '90s, and it was like Kevin Spacey. People kind of rumored about it. Everyone knew about Harvey Weinstein. Everybody knew about Bryan Singer. So
speaking of Conspiracyland, just throwing this out there, 2 of Kevin Spacey's accusers both committed suicide in the last
weird. I know, yeah. Weird. What's up with that? And on that vein, another big letdown was besides Dark Phoenix, Cats. I don't know if Cats is a letdown.
Cats.
Can we talk about Cats for a second? First of all,
let's talk about Cats. We got to talk about Cats.
Okay.
I don't even. Here's the deal, though. It's not a letdown for me because I've never even seen the musical. I'm not even sure what songs are the IP of Cats. I'm sure I've heard them, but I'm not even sure which songs belong to the Broadway musical Cats.
Well, first of all, this is a movie that nobody asked for. It wasn't like people were like, look, if they did a Hamilton movie, I'd be like buying tickets today.
Well, I was quick tangent. There's a new Lin-Manuel Miranda is releasing a new musical in summer 2020. That is completely unique, very much in the style of Hamilton. That should be something to look for.
No, are you talking about In the Heights?
Yep, that's the one.
In the Heights was actually his first musical before Hamilton.
Oh, it was? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So that should be interesting. But Lin-Manuel Miranda, if you're listening, which I know you are.
Of course you are.
If you're
a listener too, Mark Cuban, Lin-Manuel Miranda, 2 of the 7.
If you do a movie, a Hamilton movie, please do it. Like I would love to see it take place in modern times. That would be awesome. I think that would just be like a cool sort of thing.
Twist.
So the Cats movie came out, and in the first time in movie history, 2 things happened. Number one, they patched the movie because apparently the effects.
Well, explain that.
Yeah. The movie was not done when they released it. Apparently, they didn't have enough time to finish the effects, and so they decided that in order to get more people into the movie
and to qualify for the Oscars,
right? They decided to patch the movie with updated effects. Now, because some of the effects weren't quite finished, but in all honesty, these cats are kind of creepy because the way that they did it, they put like real fur on the humans, but
they're really creepy.
But some of the fur wasn't rendered yet, and so they thought, oh, okay, well we'll just update it and send it out. But apparently,
notice.
But apparently, it was so bad on so many levels that people are actually rushing to the theater before the patched version came out to see the unpatched version. They should have just left, the movie. And so it looks like it's going to not only lose a lot of money, but go into the Rocky Horror Hall of Fame of.
It's a stinker. That's one of the biggest flops. The budget probably isn't that bad. What's the budget on that thing? Like $100 million? Was it more?
Yeah, I think it was $100 million. But just a note to Hollywood: look, you don't. If no one's asking for the film, don't. Well,
this is kind of interesting though, because you had the trailer. When the trailer came out, the same criticisms that came out with the movie were out there in the public, and there were this trailer came out around the same time as the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer, and you have 2 different reactions by the studios. The Sonic the Hedgehog trailer came out. The studio decided to revamp the entire special effects and delay the movie because the design of Sonic was creepy. That was the exact same kind of wording. Yeah. It was it was creepy. So they actually did that. Whereas the Cat studio, I don't even know who put it out. They decided, no, fans, they don't know, whatever. We're just going to put it out there, see what happens. And apparently it didn't work out so nicely. And it's so bad that they had a huge Oscar campaign all set out, and they were putting it out there for your consideration ads and everything. And they decided, you know what, we're going to cancel all of this.
Yeah,
we get it. Apparently this movie's not good. The critics don't like it. The fans don't like it.
Nobody asked for it.
And it made $6 million opening weekend, which on a $100 million budget, that's called a flop.
Yeah. So and then finally, the overall biggest letdown, I think, of 2019 is the list of movies that are going to be coming out in 2020. And for the first time ever,
name me a couple of those, because I'm not been paying that close of attention.
Well, they're finally going to be releasing the Mutants, the new Mutants movie.
But they are releasing it.
Yeah.
They didn't shelve it. I thought they shelved it.
There's money to be made there, and it actually looks pretty good. But the movies that are coming out, like the biggest movies, and I'm just kind of throwing some out here. Black Widow, which should be fun, it'd be good. It'd be good. Another James Bond film should be entertaining, but I also believe that James Bond is kind of past his prime. And
Daniel Craig, the last 2 movies in a row, has said he wanted to slit his wrist.
Of course he says that. Yeah.
Instead of playing James Bond. And it works every time he gets more money.
Yeah,
so
because
we got like 30 million this time.
Yeah, they back up a dump trunk full of money, and of course he's going to say yes.
They're like, oh, okay, I guess I could survive one more movie.
But I think Bond is kind of past his sell-by date. I think that Bond,
his character doesn't really age into the modern era of culture.
Right,
It's like a trapped in like the 80s or 90s.
Right. 60s. It was like the misogynistic, Cold War hero. So anyway, it should be entertaining, but I'm not super looking forward to it. Wonder Woman 1984 looks entertaining.
Looks good.
Mulan, the live action Mulan, maybe. Birds of Prey,
probably not.
Well, it's like I'm sorry, DC, you guys have dropped the ball. You're not going to get me excited at this point for any of your properties.
I think their last 2 were 6. I mean, I think it was Aquaman and Joker were the last 2, so they've had 2 big ones in a row.
Joker I liked, but the thing
it's not really related though. It's not.
The thing I liked about Joker, and this is what I found so brilliant about it, is it wasn't the origin story of Joker per se. It was the origin story of the energy that created the Joker, and I like that. I like that the influence of Joker started somewhere, and this is what influenced the real Joker. And I thought that was a clever take on it, and it felt a lot like a
Although I think I saw that they greenlit a sequel, so I'm sure they're going to retcon that, and this is the real Joker again now.
Whatever. They'll find a way to fuck it up, I'm sure. Top Gun sequel, nobody asked for. Although, to Tom Cruise's credit, I just saw American Made, which came out in 2017.
Oh, I saw that a while ago. Yeah,
it was entertaining. Look, the guy's a lunatic, but he chooses great projects,
and he puts a lot of effort into his projects too.
Right.
Even the Mummy, it's a bad movie, but he tries.
Yeah, exactly.
My favorite part of the Mummy, just total random. I think this whole show is random. Is when him and Russell Crowe are fighting, and Russell Crowe is like, "You are a much younger man than me," and Russell Crowe is actually younger than Tom Cruise in real life, which I just think is funny. I don't know why.
One of
the line of dialogue was that though. He's like, "You are much younger than me."
One of those people drinks Xenu juice, and I'm not going to say which one.
And I mean, Tom Cruise does look like 10 to 20 years younger than Russell Crowe. So to be fair, it's accurate, but he actually is legit. But age-wise, Russell Crowe is slightly younger than Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but Russell Crowe has not aged well. Unfortunately,
not like that. No.
Let's see. We've got Onward, which is a new Pixar. I'll definitely see that. The Eternals is the one movie I'm really looking forward to. And
did you see the guy from Silicon Valley? What's his name? I don't know his name. The Indian.
Oh yeah, he buffed out for this movie.
He's yoked. I can't believe how ripped he is.
Holy smokes!
And he's like, if you ever seen Silicon Valley, he's like a nerdy guy. I'm not saying he's not in shape, but he doesn't look like he's going to be buff, and the dude is ripped.
He posted something very funny. He goes, look, getting this ripped is easy. All you have to do is work out solidly for 6 months, don't eat anything that you ever like, and get the trainer from Magic Mike to train you for 2 hours a day, and then
be back.
Yeah, and then be backed by his studio.
Be backed by a ton of money.
Yeah.
You're obviously guaranteed a certain amount of millions. I mean, even if it's low, it's going to be still in the millions.
And I'm sure that there was some sort of steroid or something involved as well.
Guaranteed. Linda Hamilton for Terminator. It said she was taking growth hormone and testosterone or whatever because she couldn't get in shape without it. I mean, she's too old. But she said she had crazy mood meltdowns. And so that's an interesting story. You can Google that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with my body chemistry like that. I got a Jarman watch. That's one of the things I started doing. I started doing CrossFit again, and I've been getting into really good shape. So who knows? Maybe I will get that buff too. We will see. I'll do it before and after.
We'll see who can get buffer in 2020. Me or you.
A couple of other quick movies coming out. Jungle Cruise.
Spoiler, it's me.
Your Jungle Cruise?
I get buffer than you in 2020.
Oh, I'm sure you. We'll see. Well, only one man enters, two men leave.
Jungle Cruise, whatever. The Rock in the jungle. There's a whole joke about like The Rock being in jungle movies. He's been, I think, like look at Jumanji. You have Welcome to the Jungle, or not Welcome to the Jungle. Journey to the Jungle or something. Journey to the Jungle Cruise. The Rundown is in the jungle. Like there's a bunch of
whatever. Still not excited about it. Artemis Fowl could go either way. Quiet Place 2. We have yet another Bad Boys movie. Now, I'm just going to pause here. Another letdown. I saw part of the new Michael Bay film that was released on Netflix.
Holy, not a letdown.
Oh my God. That was like,
it's Michael Bay. There's nothing let down about Michael Bay.
They could build a school in like Africa, like several schools for what they put into this. It was like
what they blew up. It was just the money that's not blowing stuff up. Probably
images flashing on a screen. That's all it was for 2 hours.
You know, what I think is going to be a huge flop is I saw the trailer for Dr. Dolittle, or I think it's called Dolittle now with Robert Downey Jr. Looks like a very big budget. I don't see it. I don't see it working, and they're dumping it in like mid-January. So like anytime that's a bad sign. So I think Robert Downey Jr. is about to have a big flop on his hands.
It could go either way.
It could. No, trust me, it could. I don't have my finger on the pulse of the youth market necessarily, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but I was not into the trailer at all.
We have Tenet, which is the new
bizarre looking, but yes, I'm excited for that because that's Chris Nolan.
Yeah, Chris Nolan, who has never made a bad film. He's one of the few directors that has never ever made a bad film.
And I think it's just because he cast Robert Pattinson in that movie is probably the only reason that Robert Pattinson will be Batman when the next Batman comes out.
We also have, what else do we have? Sonic the Hedgehog, pass.
No thanks.
Ghostbusters reboot. I'm actually excited about that.
I'm not excited about it, but I will see it. You're correct.
We have another Kingsman sequel, or prequel, if you will.
Dark season 3. This is back to Netflix TV, but Dark season 3 is my number one expectation of 2020.
Well, that's cool. Honestly, there's like Handmaid's Tale is going to be my jam, but Fast and the Furious 9, no. Dune, well, we'll see. Bill and Ted.
I'm waiting for Fast and the Furious 10. I'm going to skip 9.
Bill and Ted, I'm actually very excited about Bill and Ted. However, as we know, there's been so many sequels that 20 years later they do a sequel and it's just a fucking disappointment.
I can name them.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber 2, Bad Santa 2, Zoolander 2, Anchorman 2.
And the Star Wars trilogy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. So anyway, we have a lot of, there's nothing coming out really who knows? Something will surprise me. But one of my predictions, and we'll get into our prediction show next episode. But my prediction is that 2020 is going to be just fair for movies. And I don't think that there's going to be anything that's going to blow me away.
I have no idea. I haven't even looked at the landscape. So you read it to me, and that reminded me. I guess I knew a lot of that, but I don't know what to expect. And there's always a few that get through that you never heard of. I'd never heard of The Irishman until midway through this year, and some of these movies that come out but I still haven't seen it either. So.
Yeah. Well, and finally, my the biggest peak experience I had all year was going and taking Iris to go see the Book of Mormon. And that was great. We went to Amsterdam. We saw the Book of Mormon. That was fantastic. Had a great time. I loved it. I miss live theater because it's all in Dutch here. And my Dutch kind of sucks. So it's hard for me to follow shit. But yeah. So Book of Mormon was probably my top experience.
All right. Well, I'm excited for this predictions episode next. But yeah, that's. I think I've said everything I need to say. I think I'm.
Do you feel complete?
Good.
Do you feel complete?
I feel complete.
All right.
I feel complete for the moment. I'm sure 10 minutes from now I'll be like, no, I forgot. I should have said that.
So subscribe, and we've got. I think this year's going to be great, and this is our Gap episode. I don't think anyone's going to listen to it, but that's cool.
email info@marketinggeekspodcast.com with the word Gap episode, just to confirm that you actually listened this far in, because if anyone did, like, we just know that you're like our best fans.
Yeah. In fact, I'll tell you what, if you actually email that with the word Gap episode, then we will give you a prize. What should we give?
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll give maybe we could do like a consulting call or something. Or, I don't know, like maybe. Yeah. Well, I don't know. We can't do that for everybody, but like
everybody, like the first what? The first person that actually does that, which will probably be like one person.
It'll probably be like in 2021, somebody will have revisited.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody. Well, thank you for indulging us, because we just like to indulge ourselves. But we honestly thank you for listening to the Marketing Geeks. This was one for the books.
This is an interesting one, and we got another interesting one coming up, and then we will resume our normal interviews and everything. We got Christopher Lockhead coming up. We already recorded it, so it'll be dropping in the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Back to our regular scheduled programming. And until then, ladies and gentlemen.
Who else do we have? We have Christopher Lockhead. We have Philip Stutz, the political marketer. And then we have the social media marketing professor, Professor Nick, also. So we have those three in the can.
We've got a whole bunch of really good guests coming up, too. Eris has been busy booking, so... until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the Marketing Geeks.
Stay classy. How long was that?